sooner the better.
And we'll be talking about those food stamps later in the program. I want to ask you about your national security portfolio. Just overnight, there was another U.S. strike on an alleged drug boat. I know you have been concerned that Democrats are being excluded, particularly from a key meeting that happened this past week with only Republicans in the room. Secretary Hegseth was asked shortly after your press conference by our Ellie Watson of CBS about his plans to share evidence with Congress. Take a listen.
We are presenting it to Congress. We have time and time again. On a bipartisan basis, they have been given the evidence directly.
He says it's been given. So is your complaint that the evidence is not sufficient, or you disagree with the conclusion?
Secretary of Defense doesn't tell the truth on this matter. We asked for the legal opinion back in July when it was first written. We've been promised it time and again. The Secretary of State, my former colleague and friend, Marco Rubio, looked me in the eye 9 days ago and said, Mark, you're going to get it right away. We still didn't get the legal opinion. And then a group of random Republican senators was shared on a partisan basis. What is the president's understanding of why it's legal to take these actions? That, you know, Margaret, that is not the way the system is supposed to work. When you further partisan national security, when we're putting troops in harm's way, I got an aircraft carrier from Norfolk that's in the Caribbean right now. How do I answer the families of those sailors about whether this operation is even legal? This document needs to be shared with every member of the Senate this week so that as we get into this discussion about war powers, we've got the basis of how the administration is claiming that it's legal.
You know, the administration says this isn't about war powers, that the president has authorities under Title II. But let me read to you, because the White House knew you were coming on. They reached out to us yesterday to assert they've provided 6 bipartisan briefings to members or staff, including your staff, plus the Gang of 8. A senior administration official also said classified documents were made available.
There were no classified documents made available to the Gang of 8 members until after a partisan briefing was made to Republicans only. That is not the way our system is supposed to work. If you want to put Americans in harm's way, it needs to be done on a bipartisan basis. My Republican colleagues, many of them afterwards said, oh, yeah, that was not really good. Well, I wish they would have got up and walked out of the damn room, because everyone knows partisanship should not be involved in these national security matters, particularly when we're putting our soldiers and sailors in harm's way.
So it wasn't just you. The Senate Armed Services Committee Chairman Roger Wicker, a Republican, and his Democratic colleague Jack Reed said they have twice written to Secretary Hegseth asking for execute orders, specifically legal justifications, and the list of terror organizations tied to these strikes. They don't have that information, and they have oversight of the military.
I rest my case. This is what we're all saying. Come clean. And the fact is, if, as the administration says, these are all bad guys and they're all drugs on these boats, interdict these boats and show the world. Listen, the Maduro government in Venezuela, and by the way, none of this legal opinion has anything to do with the Venezuelan government. Maduro's a bad guy. We should have pushed harder on him when the people of Venezuela voted him out under President Biden. Biden didn't do enough. The drugs are all cocaine. It has nothing to do with fentanyl. If you were going to try to make a case to the American public, make it publicly. Don't do this and then try to hide the legal justification and give it out only on a partisan basis.
Does your Republican colleague, the chair of the Intelligence Committee, Tom Cotton, hear you on this? Is he working with you on this?
To his credit, he did not attend this Republican-only briefing that took place earlier this week.
And neither did Roger Wicker, Armed Services.
The notion here is...
So the White House and the Republicans are in disagreement on this.
Well, there is not a lack of disagreement from members of the Senate that we've been asking for this legal justification for months. And they are now hiding the ball and only giving it out on a partisan basis.
All right. Senator Warner, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Margaret.